All right, I'm gonna just do it regular. I had it on a nice cool stand, but I'll just hold it like this and see if we can hear better. Okay, so back to why would you want to join the Facebook group? Making friends with babies who like-minded thinking. It's a good place, perfect place actually, to ask developmentally based questions directly to an experienced specialist. And also there are lots of opportunities to purchase custom sessions, custom services for you and your baby that you won't find anywhere else. This will be particular to you, what your needs are, what your questions are. I have an ebook in the group, and it's just a lot of really cool, thank you Renee, developmental stuff going on. Let me really quick go back over the intro since where I am, Renee said we maybe couldn't hear me. I'm in Learning Express Toy Store in Katy in honor of the Shop Your Local Toy Store Day, which is Saturday the 14th coming up. For Christmas shopping, I know it's coming, shop your local toy store. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about how great they are in a second. I was mentioning my Facebook group and how we talk about a lot of great developmental things, training your baby, what's going on with their cognitive connections and development. So moving on, sorry for that little hiccup there. So here's about Learning Express, why I have shopped here for 11 years. All right, and I kind of don't want to admit that, but they're so welcoming and so friendly. I started when my daughter was, an infant, when you start looking at cool toys. And the biggest thing that I appreciated was they can have custom toy recommendations. So you can walk in and say, I need a toy for this gender. You can say I have a girl, a baby who's 6 months old, and what are some good things. And it goes all the way up to all ages of toys. So you can also, I don't know if anybody else has done this, but go into a birthday party maybe and you haven't gotten the gift yet, so you can walk in and say, I'm going to a 5-year-old boy's birthday party, what do you have? And then you can say, I think they like sports. And then anyway, they have a whole recommendation for you and of really high quality toys. Second thing is complimentary gift wrapping. I mean, who does that anymore? So you can go straight to the birthday party, which I have to say I've done many times. Now, the most important reason why I've continued to come here and want to support them is that they choose really high quality, they carefully pick the toys, and they're specifically chosen for the toy's ability to be engaging, so the baby will and the child will want to play with them. I'm focused on babies today. We're going kind of like birth to 12 months and in that area. So it also challenges and facilitates development. Okay, so that's what we want to do at this age, so that they can help you kind of pick it. And you'd say, my baby really needs help with such and such, and they would know how to direct you. So a little bit, some, to be honest, are just fun. Some toys in here, they're just really great. I'm going to go over a few toys that I recommend here in a few minutes. Why would we want to challenge and facilitate development? Just, I mean, I've heard this question before, like, why would we need to do that? Because, if you give them the toys and you talk to them, maybe, shouldn't they just learn what they need to learn? So, to some degree, yes, but here are a few reasons, right? To prevent possible unknown issues and deficits that could present themselves later. They can cause issues later, all right? That's not the only reason. Just there could be things going on that, here's my question. When do we seek help for things, for ourselves and for our children, okay? When something is wrong, we get a little frantic, possibly. When something shows itself, presents itself that they're having trouble with, or that we have trouble with, that's when we want to seek help. We want to seek a professional. But in the case of babies and children, we know that from the time they're born, as they grow, they need to learn a ton of stuff. So my approach in helping you choose these toys in the great toy store and how to do these interventions is to facilitate this process. Last week, I did a training on also choosing toys, but we talked a lot about how many connections are actually built in the baby's brain from birth in that first year. And it's exponential. And so we also talked about how we can facilitate that process or we can hinder that process. A lot of it is environmentally driven. And so if we can help them out, why would we not do that? Okay, so research has proven to start early. You know, the early intervention research has been out for years. And so what I was thinking, so if you drive activity to a certain part of the brain and you're facilitating it, more connections will go for those skills. They will be created. That is what is amazing. And the processes in the brain that are not stimulated, that are not used, they will have less connections there. And those connections actually die off. I shouldn't say die. Disintegrate. They are not strong. They actually will go away. It's like a use it or lose it type of situation. And similar to us and our muscles. I know we understand the use it or lose it. So it's the same for our babies and their brain. What you are doing, what you are giving them and teaching them and showing them is driving those connections, and you're facilitating the process. You are creating their trajectory of greatness and of being able to be successful and happy and use the gifts that they've been given. Okay, so toys usually do like a general facilitation. So if we buy a toy, like I'll show you some in a minute, that facilitate, I keep saying facilitate, it's kind of a annoying word. If we get a toy that helps out, say, fine motor skills, right? It's gonna challenge fine motor skills of any child, right? But the important thing is that we can personalize and customize what your baby or what your child might need. And why this is important, if you see something that, wait, why are they struggling a little bit with that? I wonder what that means. You can actually be taught, and you can choose things and do things in a certain way that can teach that skill, that can make the connections to completing that skill stronger and bypass challenges that they might have later. I'm going to give you a couple of examples of this. One is, say, a sensory system issue. So say they are really small. Nowhere would you have noticed that there's a processing challenge, maybe between the auditory system or the visual and their brain. There could be a processing issue. You would not know this, okay? But later on, it would show up possibly in school, okay? And this is where a lot of the diagnoses come later on. You'll hear a lot of ADD, ADHD, and even dyslexia. So I'm not saying you intervene and you prevent all diagnoses from happening. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm seeing is the categories for these diagnoses are growing. The categories are getting larger to include the more children who are struggling with these things. So dyslexia used to have a small diagnosis, just for an example, and kids would go in there and get help who fit in this, this list of needs. And now the definition has actually gotten broader because children are showing up with different issues, different challenges that are affecting their success, affecting their happiness in their world as being a child. And so my feeling is, if we start before there's even any issues, we start when they're 3 months old, 2 months old, shaping their brain, challenging it in the right way, that some of these difficulties can be prevented. Here's another example. Decreased muscle tone, which will show itself as muscle strength. Okay, if you have a 5-month-old, 6 months old that was only rolling in one direction, we've all seen that. Okay, possibly not a big deal. They'll probably be fine. But then when they go to pulling up to the sofa, they're only shifting their weight one direction because that's the one that got strong, and they're standing one leg all the time. Okay, then they're cruising. They cruise one way. Well, not that big of a deal. If you see where I'm going with this, they all build on each other. So then they're walking. may be fine, right? They might walk on time. They might walk towards the end of that walking window. Still fine. If you go to your pediatrician, everything's fine. What I've seen, and I have seen this, is that those children can end up with weakness on that side that can affect them later when they're playing sports. So let's fast forward to second grade, third grade, and they're playing soccer at recess. The child who's struggling with a little weakness on one side, or their feet, or their core, will not be as fast as some of the other kids. And if you're not as fast as the other kids, it's hard to get your confidence up to then go jump in those games, to be that kid who just pushes himself and jumps in to life, and because you're successful. They sit on the side sometimes at recess, and then what that does is it kind of challenges their social emotional feel about themselves, and their confidence. Okay. I'm doing a really general, like fast forwarding, like a bunch of years of their life, just to give you an idea. One other thing, the decreased tone. Okay, so that can cause decreased attention for that child who's not feeling successful in the classroom. Decreased strength in their hands is difficulty with penmanship. They don't want to write. We're struggling to teach them to write. Frustration, and then further decrease in strength, which affects confidence. So I'm just giving you a quick little overview. I am going to show you, we're going to go back. These are just some reasons, let me recap, why you want to choose developmentally challenging toys, things that work on certain things on purpose. All right, Learning Express is the greatest place to do that. I'm going to show you a few toys that I've chosen that I think are amazing, and they cross all of these different areas. All right, hold on, let's sit down together. So you're going to start here with the youngest. All right, I chose, this is a water mat where you push and all of the little things move. They move around, and you get immediate feedback of your motor initiation. So the baby uses their hand, they get immediate feedback that the stuff floats around. And then it also encourages their gross motor movement, because they want to move around, and then when their body moves on it, all the stuff moves. This is really great for a tummy time mat and a play mat, which we have a whole training on how to make your baby love tummy time from maybe about a month back. This is called Pat and Laugh Water Mat. Okay, I'm gonna go a little quick here because I chose a few extra toys because they were so great. This one is called 2-in-1 Talking Ball. This is really awesome. So the ages on here, like this says 6 months. Okay, you can start this way earlier, because if you put it by their body when they're trying to roll, it can be really encouraging to roll and hit it. And also on their tummy, they can shift and get that hand up and hit it. So what it does is plays their ABCs and 1, 2, 3 songs. This toy is also awesome because on the back it says 6 months and up how to do it, 12 months and up, 18 months and up. So a lot of these toys, also toddlers and preschoolers. So these toys that I choose seem to kind of, the fun keeps on going. You can use them for lots of developmental periods, not just one. All right, infant, a little bit more infant here. This one is the Sassy brand, the black and white and red. I think in the tummy time video that I did training, there's a lot of info on vision and tummy time and how to facilitate this part of the sensory system. So this is a really great combo piece, and they're on the go also. You can attach them to things. All right, jumping up a little bit. This is so awesome. This is called Dimple, and it's from Fat Brain Toys. And I'm gonna try to do this one-handed. One index finger of the baby can push and get the feedback that this pushes in, and then you flip the toy over and they're all on the back. So this also encourages the skill that they need of object permanence. Where did the toy go? They need to learn that just because they push it through, it still exists. And so they figure that out and they turn it over and it's like, wow, there it is. So this is really, really fun. There's another one with shapes. The age on this one's a little older, but I think it's because the shapes are on here just for learning that. but it's the same concept of the pushing, the finger strength, fine motor, visual motor, and then older ages because of the shapes and colors. All right, always love a shape sorter. Always, always, always love a shape sorter. This one is even extra cool because it's on the go. It's got a little travel case and it's got patterns on the shapes. You got a lot going on here. This says 9 months and up. This is from Melissa and Doug, sold here at Learning Express. It says 9 months. I start shape sorters really early. The babies can sit up at like 6 to 7, and then prior to that they can actually bang these shapes together and get that noise, that feedback. All right, 2 more. This one, love this toy. It includes a shape sorter actually, but the cool part I like is the stacking, and it can grow with them. So see how old this child is and he's still stacking. I love that. We have one of these very similar to this, and my kids seriously played with it until they were about 5, and I bought it when they were a toddler. They can stack just a couple levels when they're younger, and it can grow. All right, last one. It's called Pop Pop Piano. I really, really love this toy. Also, you're gonna see here, you push the piano and the little balls pop up. So you get auditory feedback, immediate, you get visual feedback, you got the dots of where to press, you got finger strength, you can put it on top of a table and they can do a pull to stand, so you got gross motor, we got everything almost in the same toy. This age says 12 months plus. I would say you can start probably 6 or 7 months. Okay, that was really fast. I hope that you could understand all that I was saying. So today through Sunday, I am offering an assessment. If you would want to meet with me personally, to talk about some issues or some things that you're doing right, that you want to know if you're doing them right and how to make them better. Some things that maybe your child is struggling with, your baby's struggling with, and you're like, why are they not learning this? How can I make that better? The charge for this is $200. Today through Sunday, to support the people who are supporting Learning Express, it's $30. Are we going to do a $30 special to talk about you and your baby, your needs, what you would need. If you want to join the Facebook group, you can go to Facebook and you can just search Baby's Development and it should pop up. But the full title is Baby's Development plus Mom's Sanity equals Happy Family. I enjoyed speaking with you so much and sharing all this information. Go to learningexpress.com, like their Facebook and their Instagram, and they have tons of specials going on to support this Shop Your Local Toy Store Day on Saturday, November 14th. Any questions? Message me, private message me, or send me some comments. If you watch the replay, I would love to hear that you were here, what you thought of all this information. Did this help you? And anyway, happy Christmas shopping. Bye.